Mama said live up to my name, but they jockin'. They gon' try, go and take your face for the profit. They gon' lie, they gon' slip and slide, get beside you. They gon' try, we 100 deep like Verizon. In the trees with the bumblebees on horizon. And catching Z's, I've been in the V on road to Zion. Set they souls, I've been in that mode that I ain't buying.
He slot a gang, then he ain't official. When that chopper sing, you really think that they gon' miss you. I spent $500,000 on dismissals. It's gonna be a hearse, not a verse if I dish you.
Hey everyone, my name is Kay Bly and this is A Slice of Horror. If you are new here, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. Marvel Zombies. I was really excited when I saw this because when they did What Ifs a few years ago, What If Zombies, that was my favorite episode. Still is. I really like that one. Well, aside from the one where T'Challa was Star-Lord, that was like my other favorite. But I really like Marvel Zombies, especially since I am a horror fanatic. This Marvel Zombies is based off of the comic book that was written by Robert Kirkman, the same guy who wrote the Walking Dead comic books. So I'm like, this is going to be good. And it was. So we're going to jump right in. If you have not seen it, this is going to be a spoiler review because I'm going to talk about a few things that happen in the show and point out some things. And it ain't going to take that long, but I'm going to let y'all know this is a spoiler review. So let's go ahead and get into it. How did this start? So we know Hank Pym from Ant-Man, wife Janet was stuck in the quantum realm. We got that from the Ant-Man movies. Well, in this what if universe or Marvel Zombies, what happened was while Janet was in the quantum realm, she got a virus. When they pulled her out, she was still infected. And then now the zombie virus has spread amongst everybody. But that's where this virus came from, the quantum realm. And it takes place 5 years later after the What If Zombies episode actually aired. So right now, where Marvel Zombies takes place is pretty much a full-blown zombie apocalypse, and all of Earth's mightiest of heroes has been infected. So there's not really anybody to help save anyone from this or to restore anything because the Avengers are all infected except for these young Avengers, which I hope will translate into a live action that we get to see the young Avengers. We get to see Riri, who is Ironheart, Kate Bishop, and Kamala, who is Miss Marvel. They seem to find each other and have just been surviving together. And then they stumble upon this guy in a car that has like a little chip inside of him. And Riri determines that this little chip, someone was working on it to use to help reset everything and to get rid of this virus that has been affecting everyone. So they set off on their own to try to find someone who has the technology to use this chip to fix this whole zombie apocalypse. Well, we only end up a few minutes later with Miss Marvel because Kate Bishop gets blown away and Riri sends Miss Marvel away with Friday. They stumble across Friday. She's like, get Kamala out of here. And now Kamala's off on her own, but she does stumble across some other Avengers or soon to be Avengers that we see. We have Blade in this. The first time I think we've seen Blade in the Marvel What Ifs. And at this point, Blade is now the vessel for Khonshu, which is the deity that was taken over Moon Knight, which I would like to see Moon Knight in something else. I don't know about y'all, but I actually like the series Moon Knight, and I would like to see that character appear in something else, just like we want to see Blade in something else. I guess they gave us a bit of a 2-for-1 here, but she finds this new crew of people and lets them know that like I have something that may be able to help us. And so they've been kind of working together to see if we can find someone who can utilize this chip to reverse this zombie apocalypse. Now, Wanda. Wanda is a super villain at this point. Not only do we have a very powerful mutant, she's also a witch, and now she's a zombie. She is the queen of the dead. And now she has her own army of the dead. So every time we lose an Avenger, we lose a person, we lose a hero, they become part of her army. And not only are they part of her army, but they still have their abilities that they had when they were still alive. So the abilities that you have as a zombie are the abilities that you have as the undead, just reanimated. And Wanda wants the Affinity Stones, which at this point the Hulk has, and I believe she wants Kamala's bangles. So she's trying to convince Kamala, like, hey, you know what? I'm the one who can fix everything. Like, I have the ability to do that. Like, just join me and I can fix everything. Now, remember, Wanda is the same person who put a hex over the whole town of Westview and had everybody thinking that they was living in TV sitcoms. Wanda likes to glamour people and make people think that everything is okay. And she makes a deal with Kamala and says, like, look, you're the only one standing. You the last one left. Come on and join me and I can fix everything. Well, Kamala, being young, nobody else is around. She believes Wanda. She takes the deal, joins her side. And at the end of the episode, she sees Riri, she sees Kate, feels like everything is okay. They're like, let's go sit down, let's talk, let's eat. She figures that Wanda kept her end of the deal and made everything okay. But then she starts seeing flashes and glimpses, and Riri is still alive and still in the fight and telling her, like, hey, it's not real. It is not real. And Kamala doesn't know what to think at this point because it feels real where she is now. But Riri is telling her, like, we are still in the fight. It's still going on. You trusted the wrong person. Kind of like we started to see cracks in the system during WandaVision, like when they're starting to get breaks within the hex. And it kind of ended there. So we don't really know what is to come or what are we going to make of that? Like, is she going to settle for this pretend world, this glamour that Wanda put over her, or come to her senses and see that all of this is fake? Also, I would like to point out something I'm not sure most people caught wind of, and that is these young Avengers, these young heroes, when they don't have a whole lot of guidance, they are not making the right decisions. They might not do what somebody like Tony Stark or Steve Rogers would do or T'Challa would do. They are trying to make the best decision for them where they are right now. Reminds me of Riri and Ironheart when she sat down with Mephisto and he was like, hey, I can bring your friend back to life. But when you make a deal with the devil, it's going to be a twist to it. You're not getting exactly what you thought you would get. But Riri being young, feeling like she's desperate, and again, no real guidance, by the end of Ironheart, it looks to us like she took the deal. We did break down that whole series on the channel. Go ahead and look for that video if you haven't. But at the end, when we talked about that, we could see that her veins or whatnot was turning black on her arm the same way it was with the hood, which lets us know that she did take this deal and something is to be sacrificed. And I wonder, is this going to be a pattern that we see with the upcoming Avengers, or when we start getting into the young Avengers, of not everybody has the instincts to make the right choice when you don't have a full team behind you or when you don't have a mentor. You might just do what you think is best at the time with somebody who's quite convincing, like Mephisto, who is like Satan in the MCU, or like Wanda, who is a witch and can cast spells over people. Sometimes they don't know the right thing to do, and it's like, what do we do when the wrong decision is made? And we don't even know if we're going to get a continuation. Like, are we going to get an Ironheart 2 to know where Ironheart season 2 to know what happens when she made this decision, or if the storyline is going to be carried out in the movie? Are we going to get a Marvel Zombies season 2 to know what happens with Kamala? Like, is she going to come to her senses, or are the world going to be living in this hex? And is it going to be up to Riri and her maybe finding some backup to help pull us out of Wanda's spell? Because she's absolutely powerful at this point, and it's going to be hard to stop her. You all drop in the comments and let me know the little things that you may have missed. And did you notice any of these things? Did you like Marvel Zombies? How did you feel about these series? And would you be interested in case they have a season 2? I know I will be tuned in. If you made it this far and you have not, hit like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.
Well, imagine as I'm pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but to
Thank you.
hear. No, I can't help but to hear.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
What a beautiful
Thank you.
wedding. What a
Thank you.
beautiful wedding.
Thank you.
Bridesmaid to a waiter. But what a shame. What a shame. The poor groom's bride is
Thank you.
a whore. I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of
Thank you.
closing a goddamn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of
Thank you.
closing